today's project, we're going to be using Olivia, a My Reflections Level 2 paper pack from Close to My Heart.
Hey everybody, this is Tammy. It's been a while since I posted a YouTube video, but I just did a layout recently for my monthly scrap club, and I posted in a couple of locations, and first of all, I had wonderful comments, and I really appreciate those of you that left such lovely comments. But I did have people asking questions regarding some of the techniques I used. In particular, this strip here. And I will be sharing how I did that, as well as some of the other techniques. So I'm going to break this video up into several parts, depending on the technique that you're interested in. The techniques I'm going to show is the directed paper, how I use several inks to do this along the edges to create this border. The accordion fold that we did here, random stamping, overlaying lots of different stamps, not off stamping, but second generation stamping. I also did rolling here, embossing, faux stitching, random stamping again here. And on the second page, again the accordion fold, some more of that random stamping and second generation stamping, as well as the faux stitching and random stamping. But I also created here, I'll set it down, a journaling tag, a hidden journaling tag, and I'll show you how to do that as well. So I'm going to get started, and the first thing I'm going to show you is how to do the accordion fold that I did here. Okay? Alright, the first thing I'm going to show you how to do is to create the accordion fold that you see here. Actually, because of the fold, you may need to use 2 strips of paper, which I did here, to create enough length to fill in the space that you need. It just depends on how long you need it to be. There's several ways you can score. You can use your paper trimmer and a score blade that fits it appropriate for the trimmer. You can use a stylus along with your trimmer. You can use an item like a score pal, or Martha Stewart has a score pad that you can use as well. What I did is on the back side of the paper of what I want to use, I score at 1.5 inches. Make sure this is in the camera's view here. So at 1.5 inches, and because it's the background and texture paper, it's not as heavy as a cardstock, so don't press too hard or you might rip it. So another 1.5 inches, and you're going to do this along the length of the paper. Oh, and see there, I just made a mistake. No, I did. Yes, I did. No, I didn't. 4.5, we're good. 4.5, and then to 6 inches. And then to 7.5 inches. And then to 9 inches. 10.5. Alright, and that's as far as I'm going to be able to go. Now, 10.5, yeah. Now what you're going to do is you're just going to turn it over, and you are going to fold, or excuse me, score. Here's where my fold is. I want to score a 1/2 inch away from that. So where I was at 1.5, I'm now going to be at 2. Yeah, and the reason you're doing this on the other side is because you're creating the fold to go in the direction that you're going to be folding the paper. It'll make it fold a little easier. So then again, now we can go 1.5, which will put me a 1/2 inch away from my original score. Okay, now we have that scored. So all you're going to do is fold over, and you can use your bone folder to just press it. Now sometimes, no matter how hard you try, the trimmer doesn't always cut or score perfectly straight. I don't know what the deal is with that, but anyway, I don't like to score it down or burnish it down till I kind of have it started, because if it's off just slightly, it can throw the straightness of your accordion fold off. Okay. But actually this time it did real well. It's real straight. So as you can see, it was fold out, in, out, in. And you're just creating a fold real easy. It reminds me of when I was a kid. You'd make fans where you just accordion folded a piece of paper. Of course, slightly different than this, but okay. And then what I did after that was to help make it manageable to put on my paper. I put a little bit of adhesive right on the fold that goes in, and that will help control some of it. So click here, 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 here. And I left off one piece right here. Now, obviously, this isn't as long as what I used on my paper, but for example, this piece here, I secured up underneath this strip of paper. And you can trim it. For example, if I wanted it here, I would obviously need to trim this up a little bit. So you trim it as you need. And then of course I would need a second piece, and I would just glue this top piece under here. And then when it ends, when you get to the bottom, that piece just tucks underneath this as well, and you trim it as you need to make it fit. And that's all I did with the accordion fold. Of course, you can ink this if you want to. You can distress it. And somebody out there who's super creative, when I tape it down, it gets curled. And I know this would be so cute on something, I don't know, wrapped around a candle pillar or something. Just seems like there ought to be something that can be done with that, because it curls naturally once I adhere it. So that's how you make the accordion fold. Real simple.